Hello, everyone, and welcome to Verba Podcast. This podcast is created for English learners who want to improve their listening and speaking skills through real conversations and meaningful topics. I'm Luna, and I'm very happy you're listening today.
Hi, everyone. I'm Eli. Whether you're listening while studying, working, or relaxing, we're glad to have you with us.
Today's topic is something almost every English learner has experienced at some point. You understand English. You can listen to podcasts, watch videos, and follow conversations. But when it's time to speak, everything suddenly feels difficult.
You might know the words, you might know the grammar, but your mouth doesn't move as fast as your mind, or sometimes your mind goes completely blank.
This situation can be confusing and frustrating. Many learners start to ask themselves, why can I understand English so well, but I can't speak fluently?
In today's episode, we're going to explore this question step by step. We won't rush, and we won't give quick answers. Instead, we'll look deeply at what really happens when you try to speak a new language.
By the end of this episode, you'll understand why understanding and speaking are different skills, what mental and emotional blocks stop fluency, why traditional study methods often fail, and how to move forward naturally and confidently.
If this topic feels personal to you, stay with us until the end. And don't forget to subscribe to Verba Podcast if you want to learn English through real conversation, not pressure.
Let's begin.
Let's start with something very important. Something that many English learners don't realize at first. Understanding English and speaking English are not the same skill. When you listen to English, your brain is receiving information. You hear sounds, recognize words, and connect them to meaning. This process happens quietly inside your mind. You don't need to respond. You don't need to be fast. You can pause, rewind, or simply stay silent. Speaking is completely different. When you speak, your brain must do many things at the same time. It must choose the right words, put them in the correct order, apply grammar rules, control pronunciation, and react to the other person, all in real time. That's why many learners feel confident while listening, but feel blocked when speaking. Their understanding skill is strong, but their speaking skill has not been trained enough. This is not a failure, it's a natural stage of language learning.
I want to add something important here. Many learners feel ashamed when they can't speak fluently, even though they understand English well. They think something is wrong with them. But actually, this situation means you're already halfway to fluency. Think about children. Children understand language long before they speak it well. They listen for months, sometimes years, before they start forming full sentences. Their brains are building a system quietly. Adult learners do the same thing, but they often forget that speaking needs separate training. Understanding grows automatically through exposure. Speaking grows only through use.
This brings us to one of the biggest reasons people struggle with speaking. Too much input and not enough output. Many English learners spend years listening and reading. They watch videos, listen to podcasts, study grammar, and learn vocabulary. All of this feels productive, and it is useful, but it's only half of the process. Language is like a muscle. Listening is like watching someone exercise. Speaking is like actually lifting the weight yourself. If you never practice lifting, your muscles won't grow, no matter how many videos you watch. If you don't regularly speak English, even simple sentences, your brain doesn't learn how to move quickly. It stays slow, careful, and unsure.
This is something I see very often. Learners say, I understand everything, but I can't speak. When I ask them how often they speak English, the answer is usually, almost never. Speaking feels uncomfortable at first, so people avoid it. But avoidance creates a cycle. The less you speak, the harder it feels. and the harder it feels, the more you avoid it. Fluency comes from breaking this cycle gently, not by forcing yourself to speak perfectly, but by allowing yourself to speak imperfectly and regularly. Now let's talk about something deeper: fear. Many learners don't struggle with English itself. They struggle with how they feel about English. They're afraid of making mistakes. They're afraid of sounding silly. They're afraid of being judged. This fear creates a mental block. Instead of focusing on communication, the learner focuses on correctness. They check every sentence in their head before speaking. This slows everything down. Fluency does not come from perfection. It comes from flow. And flow only happens when you allow yourself to make mistakes. Perfectionism is one of the biggest enemies of fluency. Many learners think, if I speak incorrectly, people will think I'm not intelligent. But language ability is not intelligence. It's practice. Native speakers make mistakes all the time. They change sentences midway. They pause. They forget words. But they keep going. Fluent speakers are not people who never make mistakes. They are people who don't stop when mistakes happen.
Another reason speaking feels slow is because many learners think in their native language first, then translate into English. This process takes time. It breaks fluency, and it creates frustration. Thinking directly in English doesn't mean using advanced grammar or big words. It means using simple automatic phrases without translating. This skill develops naturally when you listen to real English again and again, especially conversations. That's why exposure to natural speech is so important.
Instead of memorizing single words, learners should focus on phrases. For example, instead of learning the word decide, learn the phrase I decided to. Instead of learning comfortable, learn I feel comfortable when. These phrases become ready-to-use tools. Your brain doesn't need to build sentences from zero each time.
Many learners know grammar rules but don't know how to use English in real situations. They know how to form sentences, but they don't know how to start conversations, react naturally, or express emotions. Language lives in context. It lives in stories, discussions, and daily life, not in isolated exercises. That's why learning English through conversation is so powerful. You hear not just what people say, but how they say it and when they say it.
When learners practice English only in textbooks, they often freeze in real life. Real conversations are unpredictable. People interrupt. They change topics. They speak casually. Listening to podcasts like this helps your brain get used to real rhythm, real pauses, and real emotion.
Let's say this very clearly. Fluency is not a talent. It is not something you're born with. Fluency is a process, a slow human process. Every fluent speaker once struggled. Every confident speaker once hesitated. What changed was not their intelligence. It was their relationship with the language.
Progress in speaking often feels invisible. You don't notice it day by day. But over time, sentences become faster. Pauses become shorter. Confidence grows quietly. If you understand English but can't speak fluently yet, you are not behind. You are on the path.
In the next part, we'll talk about how to move forward without pressure and how to build fluency step by step.
But for now, remember this. Understanding English means your foundation is strong.
Before we end today's episode, let's take a moment to reflect. If you understand English but struggle to speak fluently, it doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. It means your journey is still in progress. Understanding is not a small achievement. It's a strong foundation. Many people never reach this stage. Learning to speak a language is not about speed. It's about comfort. It's about allowing yourself to speak without fear, without perfection, and without constant self-judgment.
Fluency doesn't arrive suddenly. It grows quietly through repetition, patience, and small daily effort. Every time you listen, every time you try to speak, even if it feels slow or uncomfortable, your brain is learning. Progress is happening, even when you can't see it yet. The goal is not to sound like a native speaker. The goal is to communicate, to express yourself, and to be understood.
Be kind to yourself. Mistakes are not failures. They are signs of growth. Give yourself permission to speak imperfect English. That's how confidence is built. That's how fluency begins.
If today's episode helped you understand yourself better as an English learner, we invite you to continue this journey with us. Subscribe to Verba Podcast for more real conversations, thoughtful topics, and natural English designed to support your growth step by step.
Thank you for spending your time with us today.
Until next time, keep listening, keep speaking, and keep believing in your progress.